Alright, Mortal Kombat's original trilogy started the tournament battle between realms, but what if a fighter was erased from their own franchise and instead was placed in the battle for Earthrealm survival? Well, he'd actually fit like a glove. Today I'm imagining what Jin Kazama would look like as a character in the original Mortal Kombat timeline, not as a guest character, but a fully integrated part of the lore with his own powers, fatality, even his own backstory, which isn't too far off from his Tekken counterpart. Okay, so Jin's Tekken story is a pretty wild one. He lost his mom in his teenage and early adult years. To this moment, I'm still unsure if he even knows that she's still alive. His dad has inherited demon powers that was passed on to him. And then of course his granddad is a maniac and practically unkillable. He also shot Jin in the face once, but it still had no effect on him. Again, he inherited demon powers too. So in trying to place Jin in Mortal Kombat's timeline, I had a few things to keep in mind. I needed Jin's themes of self-pity and redemption to be there. I need him to unlock demon abilities of some kind. And I also needed him to feel like he's genetically cursed. Which then led to my second question. Which game would he even fit in? I immediately eliminated Mortal Kombat's 1 and 2, as I felt Jin as a character wouldn't blend into the Earthrealm versus Outworld conflict as well as he would 3 and 4. And I eliminated 3 simply for not including him in the first 2 games. You could just end the Shao Kahn trilogy with a bang in 3 without him. So that pretty much just left Mortal Kombat 4. And boy does he fit perfectly. Not only did Mortal Kombat 4 introduce a new generation of fighters, but the story about Quan Chi helping to release Shinnok from the Netherrealm, or Hell essentially, and Shinnok attempted to destroy Earthrealm for a second time, I kinda started to already know what Jin's backstory was gonna be. So here we go. Jin would be separated from his mother as a young boy and brought to Lord Raiden at the Wuxi Academy. He would be trained by the monks in the White Lotus Society, and he is cursed with the hidden darkness that speaks to him from the Netherrealm, reminding him of his destiny. His hidden dark nature and ridiculous power is awakened by Shinnok's return, and he is targeted by him and Quan Chi to join him like his father Kazuya once did in the Netherrealm. It turns out Jin is actually the spawn of a Netherrealm demon itself, leaving Jin to be of half Earthrealm and half Netherrealm descent, half human, half demon. Raiden wants Jin to stay and fight for Earthrealm and not follow in his father's dark footsteps, and Jin is stuck in the middle of Earthrealm's war against the Netherrealm. The reason this backstory works so well is it makes Jin the same Tekken character in terms of the necessary beats of his story being intact, but he's fully integrated into Mortal Kombat. The devil gene is intact, though I guess it's a demon gene now. Jun would mysteriously be missing, and Kazuya would be a Netherrealm demon with a child from Earthrealm who also served Shinnok. Jin's Tekken 3 story is transplanted to fit Mortal Kombat very easily, while almost making his parents unique Mortal Kombat characters of their own. Now his look. For making a concept for a Jin design, I didn't want to stray too far from his Tekken 3 look at all. The key is making sure that it still looked like an MK4 design though, which is the very thing that will make Jin look slightly different as a character. For starters, the karate belt on Jin's pants, something that you would think as a detail would be very small and insignificant, is literally not a thing in Mortal Kombat 4. Most Mortal Kombat 4 characters have a sash or a normal belt on. Also, the foot designs are kept simple due to technological issues, but that won't be too hard here. Essentially only one character in Mortal Kombat 4 is actually barefoot, and that's Goro, but that still makes it possible for his shoes to be the same, or at least kick pads. His red gloves, though slightly different in how I made them look, the flame pant leg, the hair, it's all here. However, for his base and color alternate, I wanted him to look like the demon gene in him was already taken over, so half of his body looks like Tekken's Devil Jin and the other half of his body looks normal. Also with his hair, his hair is slightly less Jin from Tekken and a little more God Hand from Urgates, whose name also happens to be Ken Mishima. Both hairstyles are pretty close, just one's a little bit wilder than the other one. The studs on his gloves would probably not even be visible in Mortal Kombat 4 tech, so I just simply made that an upside down triangle. Simple compromise, I guess. And as I said earlier, I gave him a sash as opposed to a normal karate belt. For a third alternate, or I guess a third costume I should say, I took Jin's Tekken tag alternate and made it look more like a Shaolin monk design, at least for his time in the White Lotus Society, and he looks a little bit more human here. And personally, I love the color scheme for that design more than the actual normal alternate that was in Tekken 3. So he has a regular costume, a color switch, and a full alternate, which was normal for most characters in Mortal Kombat 4. They all had 3 characters with the exception of a few. So that's what Jin has here. Now for his moveset. In gameplay, Jin would combine karate-based combos with bursts of devil-infused energy. I also figured for a weapon, you would have to have one in Mortal Kombat 4, Jin would have an electric staff of some kind. You know, seeing as how A, he's trained with Raiden, the Thunder God, and B, he slightly possesses lightning powers anyways. Jin with the weapon kinda sounds like a cheat code, by the way. Jin could have a power-up attack that absorbs projectiles to replace his parries in Tekken as well. I would also make sure that he retained his lightning uppercut, only it would be faster. And maybe you could hold forward or back to land it at a shorter or further distance as well. The idea of Jin sort of spinning around the stage is kind of hilarious to me though. Jin's spin kicks, demon scissors, and the Devil Jin projectile would also return here as well. For his fatalities, I imagine something where Jin kinda levitates his opponent on his own, then charges up and just blasts them with his little third eye laser that he has, and they just explode into hundreds of pieces. Something along those lines, while simple, would be perfect for Mortal Kombat 4. For his second fatality, and this is just for my personal amusement, the idea of Jin simply doing a lightning uppercut and knocking someone's head clean off their shoulders would be the perfect fatal in my mind. Simple and to the point. Plus, considering we'll never see this in Tekken, the idea of that I really would like to see in general. Now his ending. Oh boy. Look, there's nothing that I could come up with stylistically that could replace the ridiculous and wacky endings of Mortal Kombat 4. For Jin's ending, I couldn't imagine giving him a backstory that I could make into a joke, not unless you're adding someone going. So I did sketch work to show a base for a Jin ending, even though this would fit Deadly Alliance slightly more than 4, but since I brought it up anyways, I'll just let Raiden describe to you.
When the final blow was struck, Earthrealm stood triumphant, but at a cost. Jin Kazama, my once proud student, helped Liu Kang defeat Shinnok and save the realm. However, he could not quiet the demon lurking within. The cursed demon blood of his father had completely taken over. Only a slither of him remained intact. Enraged, he attacked a weakened Liu Kang, mauling him relentlessly. I tried to reason with him, but he let out a howl and broke through the temple, flying into the night. I don't know what the future holds for Jin, but I hope for our sakes that he remains with Earthrealm.
Alright, sorry. Out of all of my transplants of characters in odd fighting games, this one might have been my favorite to work on, and the most surprising. I didn't expect Jin of all Tekken characters to fit so easily into Mortal Kombat in my mind. A part of me wonders if we'd ever get Jin as a guest character in a later game, but let's be honest, it'll probably never happen. In any event, if you like the design, be sure to check out my Street Fighter 2 Raiden and my Street Fighter Alpha Katana. Let me know if you think Jin would actually fit into MK or not, or what other fighting game fusions would you like to see. Maybe one day I might work on your idea myself, who knows? In any event, like the video and subscribe if you haven't, and you all have a good one, and I'm out.